Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. It's been a little while since the last video. Been really busy in the last week or so. Over the weekend I was actually out in the mountains with Keenan from the Alberta Sasquatch Organization, and we went out to the location that I want to explore in the Quest for the Wildman documentary that I've been planning. If you're not familiar with that documentary, it's the one where I launched that Kickstarter. I made a video a little while back on it, kind of describing the trip. But anyways, the Kickstarter wasn't successful, but we're still going ahead, trying to bring that project to life by any means necessary. So we went out to the location, and we were planning to do 2 or 3 nights, but we actually ended up cutting the trip short, and we only did 1 night. We hiked nearly 15 kilometers into the location. We didn't actually make it into the valley, but we made it to a spot kind of close to the valley. I guess it was something like another 5 kilometers or so still to hike after that, and we had like 70-pound packs, and it was a brutal hike in, and we kind of made the decision that we were so bagged after that first day that if we spent another 1 or 2 days exploring, which we probably would have been hiking those days probably another 8 or 10 kilometers a day, we probably wouldn't have the energy to do the 15-kilometer hike back out. So we're like, man, we'll see what happens overnight. If we don't really have any activity, if things are quiet, we should maybe think of just hiking back out. The point of the trip was kind of a recon mission anyways, to check out the route and to just kind of get a sense of the area. Now, I will admit, we definitely underestimated the terrain. When you look at it from Google Earth, you're essentially following a river, like a dried up, washed up riverbed. And it doesn't look that bad, but walking over those boulders is brutal. Like, it's very hard on the ankles, and you seem to be rolling your ankle every half an hour or so. And there was also a section on the way in where we decided to not follow the river because we were sick of crossing it, and go up into the trees and try and trek through the bush. That actually added another 3 hours onto the hike. On our way out, we just stuck to the river and toughed it out. We did all the river crossings, got our feet wet, and we were 3 hours faster. So that was kind of crazy. The hike actually started with a river crossing you can see here. So the whole way in, I hiked with wet feet, and then on the whole way out, I hiked with wet feet. So it was pretty brutal. I actually have never been so sore after a hike, and I've done some pretty big hikes. I've done week-long hikes. I've hiked the Inca Trail, and for whatever reason, this hike was worse than any of those. We didn't really see any wildlife while we were there. A couple birds, a couple squirrels, but nothing major. All was quiet, and we didn't really get a very eerie sense when we got there. Very nice camp area. There's actually trails, which it's hard to tell from Google Earth, but there's ATV trails that go quite a ways back into there to the spot where we camped. And then the trails end, and you have to hike in the rest of the way, like an additional 5 kilometers. So a lot of people don't really go past that point of where you can't drive. We're basically thinking the best way to do this is to rent ATVs or get a hold of a side-by-side and drive in with the gear. That way, we preserve all our energy to do the research we want to do the investigations and all the exploring. Because after doing that hike all day, like it was a 9-hour hike in, we were just totally destroyed and had no energy to do anything after. We left some peace offerings at the beginning of the trail. We left some tobacco, and then once we got to the camp location, we left some more tobacco just as a sign of respect. A neat little gift for the Sasquatch. But yeah, nothing really crazy happened. It was all quiet, and the weather wasn't really cooperating, to be honest. It was raining most of the time that we were out there, and you can see in the videos there's quite a few storm clouds in the distance, and it was pretty much raining all night. And Keenan slept in a bivvy shelter, and I slept under a tarp shelter. So we didn't have tents. We just kind of had makeshift shelters, which was, kind of fun. I actually enjoyed sleeping under the tarp. It wasn't very uncomfortable, and I managed to stay warm all night, which is good. But yeah, it's expedition season now. The weather's getting better. Things are looking up. There was still quite a bit of snow way back in there in the mountains. And actually overnight it did snow a little bit. There was a little blanket of snow that fell. But you know, in a few weeks, I'm sure it'll be much, much better. I just wish we could have gotten back into the valley just to see it. And I've mentioned before that this is the location where there's supposed to be a cave full of bones where these creatures reside in the winter. And that's the big thing that's kind of drawing me to this area, is that story. I would like to find the cave, but when you get to this spot and you get to the general area and you see the mountains, you actually, you know, get a sense of how vast the area is. You know, it looks a lot different on Google Earth than when you're there in person. You know, there's much more scale to it. And you think to yourself, wow, this looks impossible. It looks like it would be so difficult to find this cave, you know, to pinpoint this little cave on this entire mountain. I really don't have that much information to go off of other than, you know, what might be off of a game trail somewhere. I guess it was found by a hunter. That's the story of how it was found. Some hunter was following a game trail and came across the cave. And I don't really have any more information than that, other than the specific mountain that it's supposed to be on, which is a pretty big mountain. What side of the mountain is it on? I have no idea. But yeah, crazy hike, very tiring. I mean, my back, my shoulders were so sore after. I could barely lift my arms up to my steering wheel when I was driving out. It was crazy. But I'm doing fine now. I'm looking forward to getting back out there again with the proper equipment, with the proper means of travel. Obviously, because the Kickstarter wasn't successful, we probably won't be able to rent a helicopter because that's pretty pricey. But if we can get a side-by-side or something like that, it would be perfect. And it would, you know, save so much time and so much energy, and it would make the whole trip way more pleasant. Because you don't want to trek out that far and be miserable. You know, you want to have high spirits if you really want to do anything and do some serious investigating. But when you go to this area and see how remote it is, you know, and what it takes to actually get there, it's not difficult to imagine that this is the spot where they would be. And, you know, other than the fact that, like I was told, that's where they were, you go there and you can actually get the sense of, like, yeah, this is way out there. This is remote. I can't imagine myself being any more remote than that spot. It's just very cool. You know, when we were trekking along the river and getting to, kind of to the end of our trail, you really got a sense of, you know, you're pushing unknown territory, you know, really going into the unknown, and it just kind of felt very foreboding, I guess, is the proper word. But yeah, this is the main mission for the summer, is to explore this area. But I just wanted to give you guys an update, you know, as to what was going on. And there's going to be a lot more videos this summer of actual field work and not, you know, video reviews and things of that nature. There will still be videos like that, but there's going to be a lot more expedition videos and videos, you know, out into this Nordic area. So look forward to that. If you were one of the people that did want to support this project or donate to this project, you can still do that. If you go to the main YouTube page, on the image up top where it says Mountain Beast Mysteries, on the top right there, you can see there's a button that says support the channel. You can click that button and you can make a donation. You know, there actually has been a surprising amount of people that want to support this project, which is awesome. You know, people who actually think that this is the area where it might be found or where we might get footage, and I hope it is. You know, it feels like it could be. I've never been anywhere more remote in any of my videos. So this is like new territory to me. It is in the Nordic area, but in a completely different spot, much, much further in than the Alberta habituation site, you know, where the tree structures are. This is much further in, which is very cool. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys some footage from that trip and to let you know what was going on. I hope this is the summer where we capture the hairy guy on film. I really do. Like I said, if you want to support the channel, you can make a donation on the main YouTube page, or you can check out Patreon, or check out the Spreadshirt t-shirt shop. Links to everything are down below in the description. And check out the Lone Crow podcast. I'm going to be on the next episode, so we're going to be talking about Bigfoot. So check it out. The link is down below. It's going to be a good episode. There was also an episode uploaded last week, and it's about the werewolf legend. So if you're interested in these legends of these, monsters like the werewolf and the Wendigo and Bigfoot, check out Lone Crow podcast. Hit subscribe. It's really good stuff. Really high quality, top-notch production value. I think it's also on iTunes now, which is wicked. So have a look at that. Thanks for watching this episode of Mountain Beast Mysteries. We'll see you next time.